We lived that Métis life right from the beginning. Because that's just the way it was taught to us. When we were kids growing up, we just done what our parents taught us, and they taught us the same things that's been history all along. That's why it was talked about, but nobody, not only by the family, nobody ever mentioned that because at one time you didn't want to be part Indian or anything, so nobody just said anything about it until times have changed in the last some years, and then now everybody's starting to admit who they were. God, there's a provisional council of the Métis Nation of Ontario. They had a vote there that they would do an audit on the books, on the records and stuff. And they will find out through that whether or not you are actually Métis, according to them, or not. Sure, it could be Métis, but all rides on that document. Okay, get back in the truck and we're off.
Hold on by the head.
I'm trying to get to it.
Hold on. Got it? Alright, let him go. Watch out. Watch out, Rachel.
Here he comes. Just natural way of life for us, you see, like fishing and hunting and living off of whatever we could get out of the bush. Like I used to raise pigs and chickens and all that kind of stuff too. So it's over there.
The black pig.
They can't see very good. Your pigs can't. I used to raise pigs every year, and I got away from it for a while. And I got them again this year because I need the fertilizer for the garden, and we can eat the pork this winter. Pretty much lived off the land. This piece of ground where we are sitting right now, this here bush here, I'd say there's probably 100 square miles in there, I suppose, in that chunk of land in here that hunted all of our life. I guess the country has big history. My grandfather and my grandfather before him, they all hunted up in here. Matter of fact, south of here, about, I'd say 6-7 miles. So those big bramble marshes and stuff, some of them are 3-4 miles long, and little islands in them, places where the deer wade water to get out there and hide. I got to know this woods real good. Like it's my backyard. At one time, I used to be able to harvest ginseng root. This is a good mature plant also. There's one of the first things I look for is that. When I find that, I know there's ginseng in the area. Replant those, take the roots, and there's a beautiful ginseng plant there. That's another nice one. Ministry of Natural Resources actually put ginseng on species at risk. Now you can't dig it no more. They make it sound like it was over-harvested. I blame it on forestry practices myself. The trees are marked in the wintertime that they're gonna cut. Don't know what's underneath the trees.
Papa, are they always curled?
They have a kind of a papery husk on them. That's what fiddle is.
Always curled.
The ginseng and stuff grew under the hardwood trees in certain spots, different types of trees.
Are they always curled?
Oh yeah, until they get bigger. Like this is just about, these are too big. Well, they never knew what that was underneath. They still don't. So they come in the wintertime, clear cut, and it's been destroyed. Cattails in the summertime, they get a lot bigger than this. Here's the new ones growing up. When I was harvesting ginseng, I would replant the seeds, and you can't do that if they're digging it all up. You can take it right, like dig that up, or pull it out, and make flour out of it. Some of the meetings that we've had with the Ministry of Natural Resources, they were starting to take notice. I always peel off the outside layer like that and boil them, and they taste just like corn on the cob. But it never happened. Or you can eat it just like that. They're going to cut the logs. So that's the way it is. That's just the way government is. Rayson came up with a little ATV. I bought him that last year in the springtime, so he can follow me around on some of these here excursions that we go on, like fishing. And he has to learn these things if he wants to do what I do.
Get mud up here.
You're hung up. Back out with that. I'm not going any farther than here anyway. Get you through the mud, so I just parking brake. Gonna put your parking brake on. Right here. Pull. Yeah. Two more years he'll be able to legally shoot a gun. He can shoot a deer when he's 12 if he uses my gun legally. So I'm probably going to do that for him, let him do some hunting that way. But I don't like spade wasting meat. I hate that. He said, boys, I would never try that. I do. Yes,
Well, you're
sir.
a good shot, you will.
Huh?
If you're a good shot, you can do it.
Oh, I shoot him right in the head. I make sure the gun's shooting good before I get. There's not a pound spade wasted, you know. Like
Good
You're
shot.
supposed to make sure if it's dead or before you actually grab it.
My sister-in-law and I were hunting together, standing beside each other. We came around a big rock. The first one that came out, of course, is the fawn. They came out first, and the position that I was standing in, I shot at the fawn, and my sister-in-law shot at the doe. And she got the doe and I got the fawn.
Did you? By mistake?
It's somewhere.
I can't actually remember the first deer I shot. I shot one down back of A.C. Harton's old place in there. That was a buck. My grandmother canned that one for me. It wasn't the first deer. I've shot so many since then that first one was never a big deal to me, other than the fact that look at the meat I got, you know. There's a picture of my father and his last deer. It was just a small deer. He shot that when he was 90. Glad I didn't pick up most of his skills because he was a poor shot. I can remember him shooting 2 or 3 different deer when I was growing up. But when we got old enough to hunt the kids and stuff, we shot them all. He was a poor shot. It's a very, very small graveyard if you notice. We put this up 10, 15 years ago. There's just 3 graves in here, all unmarked. One there, one there, and one there. Bob Thompson's son. And I'm not too sure how old he was when he died. Another one in here. There is one rattan buried in here. The same name as where you're about. And of course, Uncle George's son over here. Dad's gone, so he can't tell me the name of his first cousin is buried in here. He wasn't married yet. He was 19, so when he got struck by lightning down here someplace. Looks unkept, and it is unkept. This here was a field at one time where all these pines and stuff are growing now. It was just a big field, and they buried him in here. Just stone. That's it, forgotten graveyard. And the only way I know is because it's been passed down to me. You know, and if I don't tell somebody else, nobody's going to know who's in there. And I asked Dad how come they buried him here instead of at the cemetery at Northbrook. He said it was just a temporary graveyard. I told him that's where I want to be buried. So maybe that'll work. I don't know. They say that we lack a document. We lack that one step. We were accepted at the very beginning as our information was correct. We had it down to William John Thompson, who was supposed to have been the son of David Thompson and Charlotte Small. This here William John Thompson that we have on our records married a woman by the name of Isabel Kirkpatrick. When they done the audit, they went back to a John Thompson. Well, David Thompson and Charlotte Small had a son called John Thompson, but he died when he was 8. But William didn't die when he was 8. He'd been called John all of his life. He wasn't called William. And that there's actually, I think, where they should have went and checked it from William on, and I don't think they ever did. So what are we supposed to do? My great-grandfather had a hunting accident back in this bush here, only closer to the hydro line, where he shot one of his sons and killed him. And he never hunted again after that. That was Henry Vaness. That was on my dad's side. Shot one guy, and the other guy shot 2 with 1 shot. The other guy was wounded, shot in the stomach. And he walked out. Grandpa Hank carried his son out on his back all the way to Flinton from this woods. Back at them days, you didn't have to wear red or anything. They just hunted, And it was a mistake. They came out where they wasn't supposed to, and he thought there was a deer coming, and he shot. Walk all the way the full length of the lake down there, fish that Rifle Island, and walk there from Northbrook, all the way from Northbrook.
Wow.
Then
That's 20 miles.
quite a long ways. I walk over here. I start early in the morning, be dark out. That road going through there where we live now was not plowed, and I used to walk through there, right in the deep snow. Come right over here to go fishing all day. That big long shore over there where all open country is. That used to be all fields at one time. And that was called Hiram Shore. There's where my great-great-grandfather lived, him and his wife. His wife's name was Tina Woodcock. She lived over there. She was an Indian. That's where the house used to be, right here. You see, with these here, that's where there was the things in here that used to swing the pot in to cook on. From these here things here, they used to swing right in like that, and then you could cook your meals in a big cast iron pot normally. On that, they'd cook in that same chimney as that was a fireplace that they had. That heated the house, cooked the meals, everything. In that, so that's long before my time. It flooded this property, I think. Even this was flooded up. The house is gone. It's nothing left. But that there's supposed to be a gain, but it's not a gain, it's a loss. Oh, if I had a choice, I'd live here, right in the woods. If I had a choice. But you don't have a choice. You got other responsibilities in life besides that. This here place over here, when they built the dam, they flooded a lot of his farmland. He got in his boat, my great-grandfather, great-grandfather, and rowed all the way down to Coxville with a load of dynamite.
Blew it up, and it's still probably still there somewhere. Still pretty high, the water. It didn't know what it was called. It was called Wilson's Point that time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, that was well, you know more about it than I do then, because I didn't know it was called that.
The
before
people
it was
that
called
knew
Chimney Island.
to find it
Yeah.
called it Chimney Island because since the chimney's there,
Yes.
it's now called Chimney Island. It's not called Wilson's Point anymore.
No. Was it Wilson named after somebody? Wilson's Point. I didn't know that.
Well, you know what? It was my grandpa's grandfather.
Oh.
That-
Your grandpa tells you lots of stories, I think, doesn't he? It's good to talk to you. You keep some more stories in your head there and tell me another one night. Yeah.
There's some of the teachings that I do. That's some of the stuff I do. And like I told you, there's things in the bush here that we haven't got time, actually. My time is getting short. I like to go around through the bush and show everybody the things that we used to do, actually, and then you forget some of it. But it all rides on that document. I don't feel so good about that, because I know who I am. You know, it's just, I haven't ever changed my ways. It's just, I'm always going to be the same person. Forever. Well, at least for the next 100 years.